It's a wonderful treat for me tonight to have heard and seen the Beach Boys. And as you can hear in the background, the girls are still hollering for them. I'm quite pleased to present to you two of them, Brian Wilson on my right and Carl Wilson, his brother, on the left. So this is just two of them. In just a minute you'll meet the rest of them. But Brian, I understand that you've written many of the songs that you all recorded and made popular, and also for others.
I have. Janet Dean, I've written several of their newest hits, their latest hits. You know, since Surf City on up, I've written a lot of those.
Well, in writing songs for other people, are you still doing this?
Well, not as heavily. I don't really have a chance. We're on the road quite a bit now. And when I have a chance, it's usually I'm so busy doing Beach Boy work now, I'm sort of limiting myself to Beach Boys.
Right. Do you feel that most people know that you have brothers and cousins in your troupe?
Well, I hope so by now. It's been, you know, 3 brothers, cousin, and a neighbor. That's been our thing, you know.
When you write a song for yourself or for your group, what gives you the incentive to write them?
Well, usually just the fact that we're in the industry and there's a lot of groups competing with us, and I feel that competition, you know, and also I love music, and I get very inspired, just generally creative anyway,
right.
You know, and I
understand.
do it all the time.
Well, now, how many of them have you had that have been million sellers?
Well, actually, million sellers. We've had 1 million seller. That was I Get Around, just recently.
You wrote this?
Yes, I did.
Good. Name some of them that you've written, Brian.
Okay. Well, starting with Surfin', our first record, and then Surfin' Safari, 409, Surfer Girl, Little Deuce Coupe, Shut Down, Surfin' USA, Be True to Your
Little Old Lady
in My
from
Room.
Pasadena.
That's Janet Dean.
Right.
And Fun, Fun, Fun.
Oh, and
I Get Around,
on.
Don't Worry Baby. We had Little Saint Nick at Christmas time last year. And then, what? When I Grow Up to Be a Man, and She Knows Me Too Well are our latest records.
Well, you certainly are a talented young man. Let's talk to your brother just a minute. Do you share this admiration for your brother?
Yes, well, he's done very well with this, you know. I mean, we've had very good luck with the records and everything.
And this, you're Carl, right?
Right.
Carl's lead guitar player.
Lead guitar. Do you find, Carl, that adults are really admirers of rock and roll music, but they sort of don't like to admit it?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to... Well, some of them do like it, and then some of them don't. But a lot of them will, you know, probably have albums and records, you know, rock and roll, and it wouldn't be caught with them.
Now, are you the one that's still in high school?
Right, I am.
How are you classified?
Well, I am now finishing my last semester in school in 12th grade.
And where do you go?
Hollywood Professional School.
Good. You all live in and around Hollywood now?
Well, no. Brian lives in Hollywood, but the rest of us live out in South Bay area.
In the songs that your brother has written, the lyrics really are what I would call ballads in a sense, because most of them tell a story.
Well, yeah, they are. Well, they're young though. They're just, you know, we can communicate, you know, very well with the teenage market because, well, we grew up with, you know, in the same environment and everything. So.
Well, it's been a double pleasure talking with you, Brian, since you are the composer of most of them. Do you write the words or music first?
Both. Well, usually the music comes first. Then I write the lyrics over the melody.
Besides that, it's great house cleaning music.
Oh, thank you very much.
Kind of gets the pep and energy out.
We usually like to try to identify and associate with teenagers. You know, I'm not so far out of my teenage years. I'm only 22, so. Right. But usually the lyrics are supposed to be aimed at the everyday lives of kids. You know, that's the best.
Like the little old lady from Pasadena.
Well.
Thank you so much, Brian and Carl.
Thank you, it's our pleasure. Thank you very much.
You've already met two of the brothers, and this is Dennis Wilson, who is the drummer, and you were doing a magnificent job tonight, Dennis.
Thank you. Not really too well. I don't feel so good tonight.
Well, yeah, I understand you got the Oklahoma bug.
Yeah, I've got the Oklahoma bug.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I heard you and Al mentioning a minute ago that there was we were talking about a little old lady from Pasadena. There was an elderly lady in the audience tonight.
Very old lady out there, yes, there was.
And did she seem to enjoy? Did she? This is Al.
She was clapping her hands and...
Come here, Al.
with it? Hi. Very glad to know you all.
Al, I've got to look at your Jardine.
Jardine, right.
Right.
It's kind of English or French, they tell
Now,
me.
you're one of the not kinfolk in the group, aren't you?
I'm the unkinner.
Were you a friend before you got together?
We all went to school together, at the same school, except for Mike.
How did you assemble the group
Well,
together?
one day as we were walking down the street, we all bumped heads. I know. Well, really, seriously, Dennis got the idea that we should write something about surfing because he was a big avid surfer then. Very good surfer, I might add. And that's quite all right. And Brian having the talent to be able to write songs, and Mike got together and wrote some lyrics, and then we all got together and wrote the songs. After we met beforehand, for instance, in school, Brian and I went to El Camino College together. And we all got together at his house one day and did it.
Well, what was the first song that you did?
Surfing.
Surfing.
Right.
Surfing. You're a surfer.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this is something we don't have much of in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know.
We do have a lot of water skiing, and
I'm taking up water skiing now. I just bought a new boat. I love it. Yeah, it's a great
water skiing in the ocean.
The lakes and the ocean all around.
Well, let me ask you something about surfing. Is it mostly balance or
a lot of 3/4 of it is balance, and the other quarter is guts.
That's what
When you see a wave coming up behind you, unless you have the right mental attitude, you're going to get, what do they call it? Wiped out, right.
Well, what's the first thing you do when you want to learn to surf?
Oh, you start going to church and then... No. No. Oh, I don't know. I just bought a board and went down to the beach and practiced. That's all you can do. You know, there's not much preparing you can do besides wax your board down.
Where do you boys go from here?
Back to Los Angeles. We get 3 days off, and then we go back to New York.
Oh, good. You're going to be doing some television this fall, I understand now.
We're going to do the Ed Sullivan Show on the 27th of September. Really big show. Really big show. Right.
Right.
And we're looking very much forward to that show.
Fine. And Europe is in the offing later, I understand?
Around October 19th, I believe.
Exactly.
Exactly. Around. It couldn't be too much.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by.
May I compliment you on your beautiful dress? It is
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I think it is
Thank you.
beautiful. Is it a gown or a dress? Or
well, actually, it's sort of a beach girl type.
I like that.
I wanted to be in style when I talked to the Beach Boys.
Looks like you're very much having us in your program.
Thank you. Here's a young man that seems to be the eldest of the group. However, this doesn't make you an old man, does
I'm
it?
the elderly lead singer of the Beach Boys, you know.
His name is Mike Love. And, Mike, I noticed something on your hand. I'm going to pull a sneaky.
Oh, no.
Yeah, please.
I've been found out.
Would you look? You talk about,
How?
what do you call them, cheat sheet in school?
Oh, I wouldn't call it a cheat sheet. I'd call it a dictionary.
That's just about what it is. I noticed before the boys went on, before all of you went on, you were making out the schedule of what you were going to sing. How do you determine of all of your hits that you've had that you put together?
How do we determine which one to play at which time? I don't know. Just by sort of doing it for about 3 years, almost 3 years, we more or less get a feel of the audiences and in general. When we came up with sort of a basic formula, like if you're going to do 3 fast songs, we should do a slow song following it, or it kind of paces.
So there's a lot more to this than just getting out there and patting your foot and singing.
Yeah, well, we try to work as good an act as we can. You know, we try to get it together as well as we can.
Do you play an instrument?
Yes, I do, but I'm so brilliant I lost it in
you really?
Urbana, Ohio. You know where that is?
Saxophone, isn't it?
Yeah, I play the saxophone, but I lost it a couple of weeks ago and haven't
well,
gotten
you
a
did
new
very
one
well. I noticed the
Thank
crowd.
you.
Actually, did you see the girl that jumped over the fence?
Yeah, there were a couple of them jumped over, and that one got to the drumsticks. Got Denny's
and
drumsticks.
the police had to carry them off. But I understand this is nothing new for the Beach Boys. The girls all go crazy.
Well, I wish all of them did. I mean, well, some of the crowds, some of the girls do want to get a souvenir or something.
Well, can't you see why? And most of the women who are watching are probably married women.
Oh, really?
But how do you like playing an amphitheater such as Spring Lake?
Well, Spring Lake is great. I love the outdoors. I love to play outdoors. It's, it's a feeling of freedom when you're in a dingy old inside, what is it, Coliseum or something like that. It's kind of depressing a little bit. Of course, the crowd makes it worthwhile if they're, enjoying you.
Well, Mike, I want to thank you for taking the time out. I know you just have a few minutes rest before the next show.
That's right. It looks that way.
Do come back next summer.
Well, thanks a lot. You might even come back during the winter.
Well, do.
How's that? I mean, that's cool. All right.
And I'll have to cut that.